Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today I want to talk about temporal recruits and just answer the question of, are they worth the grind? Should you go out and make one of these characters if you have never made one before? And I'll tell you right off the bat that the answer is going to be yes. The rewards that you get from temporal recruits are substantial and will save you quite a bit of time and resources when doing other things on your account. And before I get too far into things, chapters are going to be listed down below if you would like to skip ahead to any specific part of the video. And there's going to be links in the description that will be an STO wiki link that has a full text breakdown of the rewards for what is specific to the recruit character and what is going to be account wide. And then I'll have a link also down there to a Reddit post going over some of the locations of the temporal orbs that you have to find during some of these story missions to get some of the rewards. Now, before I get too far into things, what are these recruitment events? Well, basically, recruitment events are a way for Cryptic to encourage players to go out and make characters for other factions that they normally would not play. And in this case, it's going to be the Temporal Recruits, which is going to be running from September 6th through October 4th, 2022 on both PC and console. Temporal recruits are the TOS Starfleet characters, and while some of you may have those characters, this event is meant to encourage a wider audience to go through and set up those characters to experience that story content, and in general, just to invest time and potentially money into those characters. All of these recruit characters for all of the different recruitment events have different sets of rewards. Some of the rewards are there to make it so that you have an easier time working on that specific character and are unlocked just for that character. And then there's another set of rewards that are going to be available account wide. And this is just an incentive for us existing players to go in and make these characters if we don't already have them, because some of the rewards are quite substantial. Now, if you do go and get the account-wide rewards, these can be claimed by a vendor on the different faction hubs. There's an NPC on ESD, Quonos, and the Romulan Flotilla. For ESD, it's a guy right outside Admiral Quinn's office. On Quonos, I believe it's an NPC that is straight inside the first hall or whatever, right to the right. And then on the Romulan Flotilla, they are located in the big room that has the big windows looking outside. So what exactly do you need to do during the event? When it comes to any of these recruitment events, it's really important to note that the only thing that you have to do during the event is create the character and play through enough of the story missions to get the epic device in your inventory that gives you the objectives for that recruit. That is all you have to do during the event. You do not actually have to do those objectives during the event. You can go and do those at any time later on down the line when you want. So do not feel pressured to go and do all of these recruit tasks immediately. You can take your time doing them. They do not have to be completed in the month that the event is running. Now, with temporal recruits, I will tell you right off the bat, if you already have a temporal recruit, then there's absolutely no need for you to create another. You only need one of these characters on your account. If you already have one, you're not going to gain anything by making another. And as I've already mentioned a couple of times, these temporal recruits have some fairly significant rewards, so I would highly recommend making one if you do not already have one. And if you're a new player, then definitely look at one of these, because one of the big unlocks is it's making it so that all of the rep gear that you acquire from reputation projects will be Mark 13 ultra rare quality instead of Mark 12 very rare. So basically, when you get a rep gear project going, any that you do after you get the unlock will be at a higher quality and a higher level than those that you did before. So that can save you quite a bit of resources, because upgrading gear, especially upgrading high mark gear like that to a higher quality, can be quite expensive. So That is a huge resource saver right there. So the first reward I want to talk about is the ones that you get from leveling the temporal recruit up. And you get a different reward every 10 levels from level 10 up through level 60. From level 10 to 40, the reward that your temporal recruit character actually gets is not that significant. It's just some equipment packs. Really, you can pretty much ignore these for the most part. You're not going to be able to get a full set of gear out of them. It lets you choose from ground equipment, space console, and space weapons, and you're very quickly going to, uh, not find these that useful. And I would say if you're an existing player, you have other characters, you can just craft yourself some weapons or buy some cheap ones off the exchange that will probably be more useful to you, or you may have some event ones that you can reclaim through the event store or the lithium reclaim tab that are probably going to be more useful for you. So the equipment tier really isn't that big. Now, the account wide unlock from 10 to 40 is going to be some rep mark boxes, and they start off small with 10 marks, then 35, but then they start to really add up. You get one here at 100, and then 200, and then the level 50 and 60 ones are both 500 rep mark boxes. So pretty substantial for the account wide rewards from leveling these characters up. And you have to keep in mind, if you use something like a bonus pool, that 500, you're getting a 20% bonus when you use a bonus pool. So those 500 marks, when you add an additional 20%, you're getting an extra 100 marks. That's 600 marks basically from the level 50 unlock, and then another 600 from the level 60. And that's something each of your characters on your account can claim. Now, the reason that this is significant is when you factor in what it cost to actually take a reputation from tier 0 to tier 5. It's 625 rep marks, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the right number. But yeah, 625 rep marks to go from tier 0 to tier 5 on a new character once you have already gotten tier 5 on a character on your account. So getting your reputations up on alts is going to be quite a bit easier once you have this temporal recruit at least level 60, because between these mark boxes you're getting here, you're basically going to be able to pick 2 reps that you just never want to do queues for and just get the marks from these mark boxes and just take care of them that way. So while these may not look like a lot, if you're someone that works on a ton of alts, that this is a lot of rep marks that you're going to be able to get on all of your characters. If we add these up here, 10 plus 35 plus 300 plus 1,000, that's 1,345 total rep marks before bonus pools that you're getting on each character on your account just by leveling one of these characters up to level 60. Now, for the temporal recruit itself, it's got some pretty decent rewards from leveling up here. 250 of each rep mark, 20,000 rep vouchers, rep to lithium vouchers, 500,000 energy credits, 500,000 XP, some temporal agent tech upgrades. These things, if I recall, give like 110,000 tech points each, so they're pretty nice. And then a title, and it's basically repeated for the level 60 unlock with the addition of salvage. So the temporal recruit itself, you're going to have a really easy time working on the reputations with it. Just between the level 50 and 60 unlocks there, that's 500 marks for every reputation. If you then use a bonus pool on that character, you'll get 600 marks basically for every rep. That you're only 25 marks short of actually completing the reps then at that point. So, these characters should be very easy to get reputations done on, is basically what I'm saying here. Now, heading over to the specializations, there's only really one account-wide unlock, and that's when you complete 3 of the primary specializations. So things like Command, Intel, Pilot, or Temporal Operative, or Miracle Worker. I think they updated to include Miracle Worker. But once you have gone 3 of the specializations up to just all the way filled, you're going to unlock a superior version of the trait that each of those specializations offers. So if we look at Pedal to the Metal, for example, the improved version that you would get from completing the specialization would give you up to 20% damage, and the superior version is better, 50% better, with it being up to 30% damage. So those improved superior versions of those traits are the only account-wide unlock, and the other things you can get from doing specializations on the Temporal Recruit are just a variety of upgrades and experience bonus pools. Now, these Temporal Agent upgrades are nice. These are, like I was saying before, 110,000 tech points per. But these recruitment universal tech upgrades are only 15,000 tech points per, so these are not going to do as much for you as the Temporal Agent ones would. Now, heading over to R&D, there are actually account-wide and character-specific unlocks for each of the goals here. And the first one is for hitting just level 1 in an R&D school. The Temporal Recruit reward is going to be some random R&D DOFFs, and then a rare DOFF that is specifically meant for the Aegis R&D set. The Aegis space set is a deflector, engine, and shield set that is really old at this point. It's a good budget option, but it's nothing special, so these rewards aren't really going to have much of an impact for you. The account-wide rewards are some R&D materials and a small R&D XP bonus pool on each character, so that's nice, but it's not that significant. For hitting level 5 in an R&D school, your Temporal Recruit character will be able to select another R&D school that they would like to take to level 10. So say you're working on beams and cannons R&D schools. Let's say you got your beams to level 5, your cannons was at level 0, and you use the unlock to take your cannons up to level 10. Now your beams are at 5, your cannons are at 10. So the best way to use this, in my opinion, is you can use it on the school that you hit level 5 in, but I would recommend you use your time more efficiently there and use it on a school that you were not working on already. So if you really wanted the cannons to get to level 15 faster, you would use the unlock to get cannons. You would work on beams or another school and then use the unlock to get cannons up to 10. The account-wide unlock for this is just more R&D materials account-wide and a large R&D XP bonus pool. Now, the last R&D related thing is just re-engineering a Mark 15 item. Your Temporal Recruit will get 10,000 salvage, and account-wide, you're going to get an extra large bonus salvage pool. This provides you an additional 20% salvage whenever you get salvage, and I think the quantity is like 100,000. It is actually a pretty nice bonus, so definitely worth doing, being that the task is quite simple. You can just transfer over a Mark 15 item to your Temporal Recruit, re-engineer a single mod on it, and you get that unlock for the character, and then account-wide. So really easy to do, very much worth it. Now, with the story missions, there's different sets of unlocks here. So the first one, the one that you see here, is just for playing all of the arcs. So each arc will net you some fleet marks, some dilithium, and the fleet marks and dilithium are the same account-wide, and for the Temporal Recruit, the Temporal Recruit will get some added EC. So it's a pretty nice set of rewards, and the way that I look at this is if we add up all of the dilithium you're getting from this, you got to think you're getting this all account-wide, and same for the fleet marks. So let's add up the dilithium here. On this first page, we've got 5,000, and then I've got another 4,000 worth there. If I go to the second one here, let's add these up, and that's another 1,000. Helps if I hit the plus sign. So we were at 9,000 off the first one. We're at another 1,000 here, 5,000, and then another 3,000. So that's 18,000 dilithium that you can get per character on your account for playing all the story missions, or all of the story arcs that are required for these goals. And, that's quite a bit. Think of it this way. Let's say you have 10 characters. You can claim this on 10 characters. And that's 180,000 dilithium. That's not a ton, but that is, a little bit of Zen that you can get out of it. So 360 Zen is $3.60. That's up to you if that's worth it. But the dilithium is quite nice if you have a lot of characters. If you don't have a ton of characters, then you probably don't have to worry about doing this stuff as much. But there is also an additional reward of the Starship trait, critical systems. You complete half the episodes, you get critical systems. You do all of the episodes, you get the improved version. And the improved version, when you hit emergency powered subsystem abilities for 15 seconds, you will get 3% crit chance and 15% severity. It's not the best trait in the world, but that is definitely a decent budget Starship trait for those of you that don't have more, a bunch of the C-store traits or the more premium ones. Next up, actually, before I go on to Admiralty, there's an additional set of rewards that you can get from doing the story missions. Various story missions are going to have these little probes on the map that you have to go and find. And there's a Reddit post here that has a bunch of the locations, and I'll have this linked down in the description below. There's also a command that you can put in that will help you find them. I think it's like / you bind a key to it, or you just, it's even right here. Just / target temporal probe, and if you're within 50 meters of it, it'll let you target it. So that'll help you find them a little bit easier. Otherwise, this Reddit post does have some breakdowns and some pictures of the locations. And for finding all of these temporal probes on these various missions that are listed here, there's quite a few of them. For each one you find, you're going to get a rep mark box that you can get on each of your characters of your account. So each of these is 25. That's quite a few rep marks here or there. So that definitely adds up. If you find half of them, you'll get a personal space trait called Rapid Support. If you find all of the temporal probes, you'll get one called Advanced Rapid Support. Advanced Rapid Support is a personal space trait that will reduce the cooldown of your engineering fleet, tac fleet, or sci fleet, depending on your career. Scrolling back up here. Let's go to Admiralty. So most of these Admiralty unlocks are just for the Temporal Recruit character. When you get to various progress in the Admiralty campaigns, it's just giving you some one-time use cards and some pass tokens. The big one here is when you get level 10 in 3 of the Admiralty campaigns, you'll get an account-wide unlock for 10 pass tokens, 4,500 dilithium, and then 20% bonus Admiralty campaign experience and skill points from Admiralty missions. So that is pretty nice. If you do Admiralty at all, definitely something you want to look into. Now we have the reputation projects and the various tasks there. Like I was saying earlier, with all the marks that you get from this while leveling up, you should be able to just breeze right through these reputation unlocks here. So the account-wide one is for getting 10 reputations up to tier 5, and really, with it gives you 500 marks when you get to level 60, basically. You get 250 for each rep at level 50, another 250 at level 60. You get an additional 20% on top of that if you have a bonus pool active. Getting 10 reps up to tier 5 should be really easy. And once you do that, you'll get an account-wide mark box for 1,000 rep marks on each character, 20,000 rep dilithium vouchers, 750,000 DC. Most importantly, this unlock for making it so all of your future rep gear projects that you do will get you rep gear that is Mark 13 ultra rare quality. Normally, rep gear is Mark 12 very rare quality. So getting it at the higher mark and also at a higher quality from this unlock is huge. If you're somebody that, plans to buy a ton of rep gear, you need to get this Temporal Recruit leveled up, get it get the reps done to tier 5, because that unlock will save you a massive amount of resources. For any of you that have ever upgraded gear at tried to upgrade gear at Mark 15 from very rare to ultra rare, you know that it sucks. It is extremely expensive. And, going from ultra rare to epic is also really expensive, but if you can cut out half the grind, half the cost basically by getting this unlock, that's huge. So this alone makes this recruit worth doing, because getting your rep gear at a higher mark and at a higher rarity right off the bat is going to save you a massive amount of resources. Now, this only applies to rep gear from reputation projects, and it does not retroactively apply to any rep gear that you already have, nor does it apply to any reputation gear projects that you have slotted before you got the unlock. So if you have a project slotted before you get this unlock for like a shield from a reputation, it's still going to be Mark 12 very rare. You would need to start a new project after you have the unlock in order to get the Mark 13 ultra rare version right off the bat. And of course, on the temporal recruit itself, you do get additional marks for getting reputations up. And really, like I was saying before, getting reputations up on one of these temporal recruits is stupidly easy, especially if you are utilizing the reputation mark bonus pools, because you'll almost have enough just from leveling the character up to 50 and 60 if you use the bonus pools to basically complete most of the reputations up to tier 5. So you basically get all the way there if you're smart about it and use the bonus pools. Now let's talk about duty officer commendations. So doffing is something that everyone just absolutely loves, I know. And there are rewards you can get for getting the various commendations done on your temporal recruit. And there's only one that is actually going to provide you with an account-wide reward, and it's the DOFF that I talked about in the video I did recently on DOFFs that you can slot on ground to boost space. And it's the Temporal Agent Barrett Duty Officer. This one's a consultant, just provides you 5% bonus XP, spec XP, and expertise when slotted on ground, and will impact space and ground. You can get him unlocked by completing 6 commendations, getting them up to rank 4. So, bit of a grind to do, but along the way you will get some other DOFs. The only one here that may interest you are the 5 very rare DOFs that you get for getting 4 duty officers up to, or 4 duty officer commendations up to rank 4. I think they have those listed here. None of these are that special. The TBR pull DOFF might be interesting to you, but most of these are not that popular in the current meta, so nothing really that big anymore, but some of you may have a use case for them. But of course, these are limited to the temporal recruit characters. And I think the last thing here is that you do get a small reward of some fleet marks and some fleet dilithium vouchers if you join a fleet. You'll get the same bonus on the temporal recruit as you will get account wide. It's just 50 fleet marks and 5,000 fleet dilithium vouchers, so it's nothing that huge, but any free fleet marks or fleet dilithium vouchers is always helpful. I think that's pretty much it for the rewards, so let me go and recap. So the notable account-wide temporal recruit rewards. The Mark 13 ultra rare rep gear unlock. That alone, that's massive. Absolutely massive. That is going to save you so much, so much resource-wise. Just because upgrading gear at Mark 15 when trying to go very rare to very ultra rare at that Mark 15 level absolutely sucks. So this unlock is going to save you a lot of resources. The plus 20% bonus Admiralty campaign experience and skill points, that's always very handy. The improved specialization starship traits, if you're somebody that actually uses those traits, then that's going to be notable to you. But most of those traits, basically nobody uses. The personal space trait, advanced rapid support, to reduce the cooldown of your attack, psi, or engineering fleet, depending on your captain career. And then, of course, the just thousands upon thousands of reputation and fleet marks that every last character on your account is going to be able to get. And the Temporal Agent Barrett duty officer that I had mentioned before. So lots of really good rewards. And like I was saying at the beginning of this video, you know, you don't actually have to make, or you don't actually have to do all these objectives during the event. All you have to do during the event is make the character and get the little device in your inventory that gives you the objectives. That's all you have to do. Just make the character, play through the tutorial in that first story arc until you get the little epic thing that goes in your inventory that looks like this. Just do that during the course of the event running this month, which is going to be from September 6th through October 4th, 2022. And you will get this item in your inventory, and you can go through at any point, get the rewards done, and get them for your account. So, very much worth it. I highly recommend you go through and do this, especially if you're like a free-to-play player. These unlocks are massive. So, definitely check it out. But that's going to be it for this video today. Once again, I want to say thank you to all channel members for the continued support. I will be streaming on Saturday, and I might even stream here in a couple hours later tonight here on Friday, September 2nd. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.